Welcome to another episode of Psoto Desperado Play Star Wars: The Old Republic. I'm over here. I forgot what planet I'm on. Where am I? I forgot. I don't know. I don't know what planet I'm on. But I'm over here trying to figure out what to do here. Oh yeah, here's a mission. Gotta do some local stuff. So anyway, yeah, I'm just doing the missions to get the storyline basically down. I'm not doing anything super advanced. But I do have a video with Anton Daniels. Let's see if I can show it without this thing quitting on me. Alright, you guys should still hear me. It's the Millionaire Morning Show. New York correctional officers under file, suspended without pay for
New York Police Department. So we got to bring them to the front of the congregation. Both correctional officers and a police department. And the reason that I want to do this is because I seen this story because y'all sent it to me. And I think that it's something that we need to address and evaluate, because I always hold people accountable for what they do to police officers, because you know that I am a heavy advocate for and supporter of police officers throughout the United States of America. I think that those are truly the heroes. Police officers, anybody that's a part of the military. I think that those are the real heroes. And I think that they unjustly get a bad rap. But what happens when police officers or correctional officers are being held accountable for something that they're accused of? I wanted to review this with y'all. Let's get into it. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's rock.
With that investigation into the death of an inmate at a New York prison, the state attorney general's office releasing body camera footage today showing the beating that is being blamed for his death.
Fox 8's Morgan Mackay has been reviewing the incident. She joins us live from the newsroom. Morgan, more than a dozen correction officers were involved in this.
Bianca, Natasha, it's a tough video to watch. Robert Brooks died shortly after this alleged assault. His family has seen the videos, but due to the graphic nature of the body camera footage, Fox 5 has decided to only show images of part of this alleged beating.
These videos are shocking.
I hate Letitia James so much. It's very hard to find somebody that you hate. I might hate Letitia James. You know, just her visual representation on this video makes me angry. The fact that I gotta look at Letitia James is despicable to me. It takes away from the whole story. Letitia James is trash to me. I can't even stand seeing this woman. Absolute trash and garbage, in my opinion. I don't like even seeing a look of this chick. Just so evil, just an evil person in life.
And disturbing. And I advise all to take appropriate care before choosing to watch them.
The state attorney general's office released this footage recorded on body cameras worn by 4 correctional officers at the Marcy Correctional Facility in central New York. These videos, which have no audio, show Robert Brooks being carried into the infirmary by correctional officers. Brooks's hands are handcuffed behind his back when officers start punching him. They then hoist him up by his neck.
Question. With all of the body cam footage that's available now, why would you do this?
Stupid.
Let's remove...
They're stupid.
How bad of a human being you are out of the equation. All right? Let's just say, hey, man, we're going to be smart about our crime, because crime happens everywhere. And as long as you have humans involved, there will be, you know, some bad actors. All right? And I think that the bad actors need to be held accountable.
What kind of...
But hear me out. When I see cameras, or when I know that cameras are around, I instantly get a little bit more mindful. Even if we're not doing nothing, even if nothing is happening bad, right? When I see people pull out a camera, I just tense up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? And I could just be chilling or whatever, but the minute that I start seeing people do like this, I was over my mother's house for Christmas, on Christmas Day. And my mother had some of her friends over, and they didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm assuming that they didn't know who I was. It was, older women and the couples and stuff like that. And she was like, hey, say hey, y'all. And she started showing, doing like this. Say hey, y'all, and stuff like that. And me, I was like, because I don't know who you are. I don't know where this is going to. I don't know if it's going to Facebook. Usually older people, they like to use Facebook. They're not posting it to X. They starting to get a little bit more intuitive when it comes to TikTok. But the minute that I start to see cameras, I just naturally be like, I just went ahead and start going to sleep. And so when you see this, you telling me not one person, knowing that the cameras, the body cam footage was happening, not one person,
you are cleared from
not one, was like, hey man, hey bro, no, I ain't know we was going that far. I ain't know that we was doing it that way. Hey, we gotta chill out, bro. Not one person, not one strong-minded person said, hey, bro, I don't think that, hey, man, chill out, bro. Wait, you ain't even got to make a big deal about it. Not a big, hey, hold on, man. You know they throwing out charges for that, right? Not one person. Never in my life have I ever been afraid to stand up for myself and say, hey, man, this ain't for me, bro. I'm out. I have always been Cuba Gooding Jr. riding down the street with Doughboy. Hey, Doe, let me out the car, man. Even if I was in my room punching right before that. Even if I was in my room punching in air because Nia Long wouldn't give me no box. Some people are the Doughboys of the world. Other people are the Rickies. You know what I'm saying? I've always been Cuba Gooding Jr. Hey, Doe, let me out the car, bro. Hey, Doe, stop the car. Hey, man. But see, I'm a little bit different than the movies. Hey, man, I said stop the car, bro. If you don't stop the car, I'm going to jump out. No, I will jump out the car, bro, while it's moving. Like, don't try to force me to do something I don't want to do. I've always been the person that was like, hey, man, look, I thought that this made sense. It seemed like we going down the wrong street. I think I just got a sign from God. Let me out the car, though. No, y'all crash dummies. Y'all going the wrong way. Ain't nobody of all of these correctional officers ever said, you know what? This don't look like that it's going that way. This don't look good. I seen a lot of police officers, even people that crucified police officers that justifiably did something the right way. Yeah, they not playing on us. It's open season on correctional officers and police officers right now. And we got body cam footage. I don't want that problem, bro. I don't want that problem. I'm going to go ahead and absolve myself and I'm getting out of here. I don't want to be on camera with y'all. I don't want to chill with y'all. I'm out. I know they about to repossess my car. I'm going to quit my job. I don't want this job no more. I don't want to be a part of this.
Forcefully, and one officer starts to smack Brooks with a shoe. One officer then used his booted foot to kick and pin down Brooks. Another officer punched Brooks in his upper body, and one of the officers again punched Brooks while handcuffed. At one point, Brooks... A
lot of y'all ain't watch Boys in the Hood. Go watch Boys in the Hood. Hey, dog, let me out the car.
...was sat up with his face bloodied, and an officer punched him again. Brooks was then pulled up by his collar and forced to the wall.
Somebody said correctional officers that immunity is on the way. That's not true. That's not true. Immunity is not, listen, police immunity or immunity for correctional officers does not apply when you go outside of the rule handbook in your training. It does not apply. That is the biggest lie that they sold y'all during this election process. It does not apply to people that go outside of their training. What it does do is it's supposed to protect your personal assets when you are within the training, yet the police department is still facing lawsuits and or persecution from what happened, and you just followed the training. So it becomes more burdensome or cumbersome on the police department to make sure that they're training their officers properly versus just letting them go and figure it out for themselves. All right, and then put more of the responsibility on the governing bodies to make sure. Do not, in any way, shape, or form, be misinformed. This is why knowledge is power and key. Y'all listen to TikTok, y'all think that y'all just making sense. That's not applicable in this case. Every last one of those police officers or correctional officers will be taken into consideration and held accountable for their actions. Police immunity does not apply. It's not applicable in this situation.
The next part of the video, which we're not showing due to its graphic nature, shows Brooks being carried back to the table seemingly unconscious. Brooks died the following morning at a Utica hospital. No charges have been filed yet, but the incident is being investigated by several agencies. In court filings this week, state police investigators said that preliminary findings from the medical examiner's office showed asphyxia as a possible cause of death. Governor Kathy Hochul said she was outraged and horrified after seeing the video and ordered the Department of Corrections to fire the 14 employees who allegedly participated. A spokesperson for the department said that 13 of those involved have been suspended without pay and one resigned. Brooks was serving a 12-year sentence after being convicted of first-degree assault for stabbing a former girlfriend.
Oh, now we got the ladies that's on the side of the police officers. Now y'all want to be on the side of the police. I can't believe that he had stabbed a former girlfriend. The police officers was right to deal with him the way that they deal with him. Okay, all right. Now we got another wrinkle in the case because most people were just reacting to the police officers or correctional officers and how they dealt with it. But y'all like vigilante justice as long as they don't have a uniform on, though, right? Everything changed, didn't it? Oh, no, he deserved what he got. Huh? Oh, everything changed. Now you support correctional officers, right? Now you support correctional officers. He was serving 12 years. He tried to kill that girl. Now he deserved everything he got. Now you want to support correctional officers. Okay. All right. Because, see, it's cool when they don't have a badge on. When somebody do something to children and then there's vigilante justice that's implemented against them from another inmate, they say, hey, man, don't press no charges on that inmate. That guy deserved what he got. Does the charges change the dynamics of the case?
Reverend Al Sharpton commended Hochul's swift action, but the incident sparked outrage among many elected officials and criminal justice advocates.
It's shocking. It shouldn't be.
How do we know?
But it's just the manner.
Yet I learned.
The way in which they did not care. They did exactly what they wanted to without a care in the world.
Now, the New York State Correctional Officers and Police Benevolent Association, the union which represents most of those allegedly in the video, says they do not condone the actions taken in the footage, but will be upholding its obligation to represent its.
Nah, you can't do that to people. If you swore an oath and you got to uphold the rule of the law, you can't take that into your own hands and do what you want to do. So I'm on the side of the justice system. You can't do that. You shouldn't be doing that. You can't kill somebody while they're in your custody. But I do want to hear more of the details. I want to know what he did. I want to know why they had dragged him out there in the first place. You never know. He could have do some doo-doo on a police officer or a correctional officer, right? He could have slapped somebody in the face. I don't know. He could have tried to kill one. And so that's the way that they decided to handle it. I don't think that they held themselves together and they handled it correctly up to this point. But I reserve the right to change my mind once more information comes out. But on top of that, the New York Police Commissioner is releasing a lot of people within the department now that New York Police Chief has come under fire for being accused in the whole overtime situation. So check this out real quick.
Fox 5 is learning that Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch is continuing to make staffing changes within the NYPD. This comes just 1 week since former NYPD Chief of Department Jeffrey Madry resigned amid sexual misconduct allegations. Fox 5 Jessica Formoso joins us live from police headquarters in Lower Manhattan with more on all the changes. Jessica.
And Richard, these changes are not a shock to many. As expected, Commissioner Jessica Tisch is
Why you
cleaning
hollering when I
house. She
say
has
doo-doo,
ousted
Tia?
NYPD bosses. We're talking about the chief and now deputy chief.
Hey man, shout out to the police, the reporters and the responders over there in New York. They got a nice little lineup of skinny minis, of fun-sized girls over there in New York that's reporting the news. Shout out to y'all. I know y'all ain't heard me say that in a while. I'm paying attention.
Of Internal Affairs. Now, Fox 5 has learned that the PC has made recent personnel changes in Internal Affairs and also in former Chief of Department Jeffrey Madry's office. Internal Affairs Deputy Chris Morello has been removed from his post. This comes a week after his boss, Chief Miguel Iglesias, was relieved from his command. The two are in charge of what could be the most important bureau at the police department. They were in charge of making sure there were no crooked cops. Now, the New York Post reporting 6 members of Madry's office, 5 detectives, and 1 police officer were sent to walk the beat in public housing. This all comes following the sexual misconduct allegations surrounding the former chief of department, Jeffrey Madry. His subordinate, Lieutenant Quatisha Epps, filed a complaint against the city last week, claiming she did unwanted sexual favors for Madry in exchange for overtime. Madry says their relationship was consensual and that he had no authority over approving any overtime. Epps, who had held an administrative post in Madry's office, was the NYPD's top earner in 2024. Records show she made more than $400,000 in overtime. Half of it was overtime pay. Now, once these allegations came to light, Madry resigned. Now, today we spoke to retired NYPD detective Michael Alcazar about what these moves by the commissioner mean for the department.
I think Jessica Tisch is sending the right message. I've seen it in my Facebook group, my retired Facebook group. A lot of retired police officers too are supporting what Jessica Tisch is doing because they feel like, again, Madry Caban have gotten away with a lot of things, and they feel like she's actually the real deal police commissioner. She's cleaning up house. She's going to put in her people that she trusts, that she feels will do the job the right way.
So they're trying to clean up the police department and the correctional department over in New York City. I will keep you guys in the loop on what's going on.
Reprogram the droids to fire on Imperials. A little more problematic than a tech gone missing.
Abuse happens all the time. That's why I'm going to see what the big deal is. Of course, it's your ass on the line. Well, shit.
Bring Gavin Newsom to the front of the congregation. So Gavin Newsom, in light of being defeated with Prop 36 meaning that we can start holding people more accountable. We seen that last week with the young women that were shoplifting and now they catching felonies. All right, with the evolution of Prop 36 and the suffering of the people in California under Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom held a press conference trying to clean up his image and start a narrative behind the idea that he's going to start cracking down on crime, homelessness, and the things that are happening the worst in California. I wonder why they're waiting all the way until the end of his term to do so. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's rock.
The CHP will be sticking around to help fight crime in the town for at least a little bit longer. The governor announced the extension today, but also tacked on a warning to the Oakland Police Commission.
NBC Bay Area's Valina Jones was there for the announcement. And
conversely, over in California, it seems like they always go with older Asian women as their news crew. In New York, they may not have a good police department. They may have some problems over there on the subways. But New York keep them some bad news correspondents. They will stick around with them news correspondents. Over in California, they love them some older Asians. I don't know what that is. It's like a theme. Over in Miami, they keep that, all of the ones that speak Spanish, they keep them in there. They keep them over there in New Orleans. Over in California, they keep them some older Asians. Let's continue.
Explains why Governor Gavin Newsom says he's done helping Oakland if it doesn't take action soon.
A stern warning from Governor Newsom to Oakland.
We got to stop the bleeding.
The governor's message: immediately change your police pursuit policies or lose state support to combat public safety. The demand comes as Newsom announced he's adding a month to the program that's providing extra CHP officers to help in Oakland.
We need to see that policy changed. This commitment from the state can't continue unless we see commensurate changes.
Currently, OPD is only allowed to pursue someone if they're suspected of a violent crime or when a gun is present. Newsom made the announcement surrounded by Oakland community leaders, council members, and CHP officials. All agree public safety in the town is at a tipping point.
Oakland cannot afford to now continue to be an outlier. Criminals know they can act with little consequence, putting our residents, workers, and visitors at risk.
In February, the governor quadrupled CHP resources in Oakland to help tackle property crime, retail theft, and sideshows. The results: over 1,400 arrests and $13 million in stolen goods returned.
Why is this something that's just now starting to be implemented? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Gavin Newsom, as highlighted by Proposition 47, has always been on the side of the criminal. He's never been on the side of the city. He's never been on the side of the residents. He's never been on the side of the people. Why is he just now starting to say, hey, y'all need to change legislation? Listen, just a few weeks ago, just over a month ago, he was lamenting at the fact that they upended Proposition 47 with 36 to hold criminals accountable. And now he's saying, hey, they should be able to pursue the criminals? What?
Report your ailments.
What is up with all of these politicians switching up in this about face?
You are fit for duty. Return to your post.
Why are politicians now getting a lot more, shall I say, tough on crime? Why do they want changes in legislation? Why are they just now, within the last couple of months since Shane Tao was under fire, started to put more police officers or California highway patrolmen or state police officers on the streets of Oakland when Oakland has been in shambles for years? Stop, bro, stop.
There is not urgency taken. What is your concern about the impacts that Oakland will see after we've had this huge reduction in crime?
What the voters did, I hope, gives everybody a little bit of backbone as well, to recognize the public's behind them if they pursue change. And this is one of many things we can be doing.
Voters overwhelmingly recalled both Alameda County DA and Mayor Shane Tao, largely over crime concerns.
It is my hope that in the new council that we can get this done in the next 30 days.
Supporters of the current policy argue police chases are dangerous.
I don't like young black councilmen. I don't like young black councilmen. I know that sounds crazy, don't it? But it's just the truth. I don't like young black councilmen. They're too eager to try to climb the ranks instead of actually having the best interest of the people. That's how you get a Trayon White over there in wherever he is, in D.C. That's how you get a Trayon White. They're too easily susceptible. Listen, young black men, it shouldn't be young black men. It should be middle-aged to older men that already are successful and have nothing to lose, and have already made their bones. I don't think that young people have. If you're under the age of 37, I don't think that you've lived enough life to be able to have these type of conversations, unless you're an anomaly. You can take an anomaly, but young black men, we too susceptible to the box and to the money. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't care how you feel, Josh. Young black men, we are too susceptible to box. Get you a bad one. And that's how the New York police chief is in this situation right now. Years ago, he was busting it down for a real one. He messed with an older chick. She probably has some crazy golf 3000, and that's how he got himself in this situation. Then when she got caught up in overtime, because she wasn't doing what she was supposed to do, he still got the electronic receipts, but it doesn't absolve him from what he was doing back in the day. He had too much power too early, and that's one of the reasons he was in that situation. It's just the facts. It's just the way that it is. I don't know if this is by culture or by race, but man, oh man, box crazy. Box crazy, bro. When I see young black men, a lot of times, let them get a little bit older, let them get some bones up under themselves. When I see young black men for that bag, for them chicks, it makes some adjustments.
Isn't disproportionately target.
Somebody says, so other men don't want the same thing too? Yeah, I think that they stupid too. I think a lot of times that they dumb too. Anybody under the age of 37, I'm not really sure that you should have that level of leadership. I don't know if you should be in the level or position to be mayor, governor, any of that stuff. You need to get up under a mentor more. And why y'all listen, if I'm holding you accountable, stop looking at other people so you can justify how dusty you are. If I say this demographic of people need to shut the hell up and go take a nap, don't always say, y'all act like children sometimes. Well, what about the other demographic? What does that have to do with what I'm telling you to do? Y'all didn't say that when I was holding older Asians accountable for being on the news crew in Los Angeles and in California. Nobody said nothing. Yeah, them Asians, they do be older over there in California. Nobody said anything when we was talking about Telemundo down there in Miami. But then when we hold y'all accountable, it's like, what about the other groups of men? Stop being so sassy. I told y'all about that on the weekend. We're not going to keep having this conversation again. I told y'all about that on Friday and Saturday. Stop focusing. When it's your turn, it's your turn. We talk about everybody over here. I was over here having a conversation about people on the spectrum. And the mother of the kid that's on the spectrum said, you know what, Anton, they can get them jokes too. When I hold you accountable, take your L. Everybody get this work. Everybody. Nobody is absolved. But whenever it's your turn, we always talk about black man. Take your L like everybody else. Everybody got issues. Our issue just so happened to be box. Addicted to the box. That's our issue. Box addiction. Hi, I'm a young black man, and it's a strong possibility that I've been diagnosed with box addiction. You know how they say that it's hereditary? Sometimes it might be. It might be hereditary. You know what I'm saying? It might be passed down. You know how they say certain things is passed down? Oh, you got bad genes. We got box genes. We got box genes. And we got a level of accountability, endogenous genes. Two big genes that we need to get through our bloodstream. Get de-disciplined and stop being so sassy when it comes to your turn to get this L. Box genes, accountability genes. That's what we got.
The Empire has ensnared.
Just the way that it is. Somehow, some way, we was just like, oh man, we want all of the box. It's the plight of the black man. Boxolitis. That's what we got.
Bleeding is moderate.
We got boxolitis. I didn't make it that way. Go ask God why you got boxelitis. Do you got boxelitis?
You will not commit this.
Do you have boxelitis? Because if you got boxelitis, then that means you got to be a little bit more careful. You can't do the same things that everybody else do. You can't put yourself in the same position as everybody else. You know what I'm saying? That's just not your. It's not your turn. Some people can get away with some things more. Some people got a higher metabolism, so they can eat a little bit more. Some people got a longer esophagus, so they can. I don't know what the heck is going on, but it's a lot of people that got boxelitis. It just is what it is. That means you gonna have to not put yourself in the position to get it contracted because you're more susceptible to it. You have a weak immune system when it comes to box.
Okay.
Welcome to life.
People of color. But Councilmember Kevin Jenkins believes this added pressure could trigger a turning point.
The city administrator is going to help the OPD chief come up with a policy, and that will go to the police commission. As the governor said, we need this with urgency. We don't want our police chasing folks for jaywalking, but we do want a balanced approach.
The police commission responded to the governor's comments via statement, saying in part, we give our commitment to respond to the call for action and to do our part.
Look at this. Do you have the same mindset for young people or for specifically black men? I ain't even gonna answer it.
To work with city leadership to make Oakland a safer place by implementing smart policy and best practices to deter reckless behavior. The commission currently plans to discuss potential changes at the end of January, but Newsom is urging them to call a special session.
They can do so with urgency, with focus, conviction to address the issue at hand, the crisis at hand. I would expect and demand that they.
I don't trust Gavin Newsom ever. I don't think that Gavin Newsom should ever have any position in legislation ever. But he was being taken to task. So in this same press conference, they asked him about Proposition 46, opposition and arrests starting to be made as a result of it. Check it out.
Hi, Governor. Monica Madden, ABC 7 News. Thanks for having us. Today, San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins just announced the first person charged with retail theft charges under Prop 36 because of the 2 prior convictions. Do you know if there have been any arrests within the last month by the task force that are now enabled under Prop 36? And do you still feel the same since you did not endorse that earlier this year?
Well, I don't know the details of a local
Facts, Randy. We're going to get to that in a minute.
Charging of a specific case. But I do know this, that the legislature advanced 12 specific bills. Prop 36 never included organized retail theft, never addressed that issue, never addressed the issue of vehicle crimes, never addressed the issue of multi-jurisdictional prosecutions. It primarily addressed the issue of nonviolent drug possession. As it relates to the 12 bills that were advanced in the legislature, as you know, they'll go in effect in January. As it relates to Prop 36 in this specific instance, I'll leave it to the district attorney to talk more about why she decided to charge him.
They're also.
He don't want to answer the question because he was adamantly against tougher laws on criminals to prevent these organizations from being wiped out and to prevent, flash mobs coming in and robbing all of the retailers and running the people out and it being a lot more violent inside of y'all community. He never answers the question. He's just as bad, if not worse, than Kamala Harris.
This week in Alameda County have been at least 5 different smash and grabs. I mean, what do we do to continue preventing those in addition to the retail theft ones that you've been touting?
Rewind the tape. That's why we're here. That's the partnership that we're committing to continue to advance. It's the change the voters spoke loudly up as it relates to the 2 recalls in the region. Our commitments remain as it relates to supporting those complex cases in the Alameda County DA's office. We want to continue those partnerships with the state's Department of Justice. We want to continue to support supplementing the efforts here, but in return we need to see subsequent reforms here in Oakland that specifically address your issue. And as it relates to the smash and grabs, again, outside the her view of Prop 36. Important that this is part of the conversation for the public. Those are included specifically as it relates to the package of bills that the legislature advanced and I signed in August of this year, the vast majority of which go into effect on January 1st in the new year.
Given that you proposed it?
I think that's fabulous. By the way, they'll have many more tools with the 12 bills that the state passed that are much broader, nuanced, and more inclusive than the one or two specific components.
I think the most compelling thing about this whole video is a sign language person. I don't know what's wrong with me. Something is wrong with me. Something is wrong with me. I'm focusing more on a sign language person, like I can read sign language to try to figure out whether or not the person is actually signing correctly than I am on this gaslighting that Gavin Newsom is doing when it comes to criminals in California.
It relates to retail theft.
And now y'all not going to be able to unsee it.
Prop 36. Again, Prop 36 tended to differentiate itself from the work the legislature already had done. In this regard, it has much more to do with non-violent drug possession, up to 3 years felony and state mandatory prison sentences.
Can't unsee him, can y'all?
If drug treatment on demand is not successfully provided. The challenge is it locks in a requirement, but it locks out money because at the same time it cuts drug treatment money for local government. That's a conundrum for local municipalities, and one that I'm very concerned about and will continue to remain concerned about. And therein lies my concern and opposition to that initiative, not on the retail theft side. Quite the contrary. We went back to 2021 when we established this new task force and framework. Hundreds of millions of dollars have invested in this space and a much more comprehensive approach to addressing these issues in those package of bills. So I applaud any effort to address the issue.
I think that in order to be a politician, you got to be a master in gaslighting, a master in communication, a master. Y'all don't give these people enough credit.
What threat?
The ability to sidestep a question and then to talk about a whole bunch of details and technicalities that have nothing to do with the question directly on is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. He was also asked about, and this is the one that y'all really want to get to, and this is the question that I would ask him. If I could ask y'all need to come up with a bunch of questions that ask y'all legislators that's in y'all respective states that y'all would ask. And y'all should ask those questions. And the question that I would ask is about the $24 billion. Where did it go with this whole homelessness crisis? But a reporter asked him about the 2/3 of the U.S. homeless population being in California. Check it out.
And switching topics, the HUD's point-in-time count came out today showing the highest recorded population of homelessness nationwide. Looks like about 2/3 of our population here in California is unhoused. How do you respond to that, given your support for grants passed?
I haven't had a chance to review the details, but I do understand this important detail that you saw nationwide increase. It was one of the most substantial we've seen in decades. I think 18.13%, 3.13% here in the state of California. We've seen a significant decline in the growth in the state of California.
And I want to point something out to y'all. Listen, this is a master class in gaslighting. If you're not paying attention, right, if you're not focusing 100% on what he's talking about, you could be fooled too. I want you to listen, and we got to listen carefully. And this is why communication is an art, both from the person that's communicating and from the listener's perspective. I'm going to rewind it 10 seconds, and then I want y'all to tell me what y'all hear.
Decades, I think 18.13%, 3.13% here in the state of California. We've seen a significant decline in the growth in the state of California. And
we've seen a significant decline in the growth. That means that it doesn't mean that the homelessness population is not increasing. It means that they've slowed the rate by which people are becoming homeless. They didn't fix the problem of the people that was already homeless. It's just more people becoming homeless at a slower rate than they were before. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a master class in word salad. He didn't say we're having a 3.3% decline in homelessness. He's saying that we have a slower growth rate in the amount of people that are basically going broke, not having a house, and then pissing on the side of the road and living in their cars. You get it? It's like inflation, right? If somebody says to you, hey man, y'all had 10% of inflation when it was in 2022 during the Trump and Kamala Harris administration, and then they say, wait, no. We had a 5% slowdown in growth in inflation, and now it's only at 5%. That means that inflation is still too high, and they didn't lower what you were already suffering from. You just have more inflation at a slower rate. So you still can't afford to do whatever it is you're going to do. Shout out to my dog, Classy Beats. I appreciate you. I'm definitely going to be reading that super chat shortly. You still can't afford to live in a house. It just becomes less affordable slower. You get it? If the homelessness population is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million, let's say the homeless population is 10 million people. It didn't mean that the homeless population went down to 9 million people. It means that it went up to 10.5 million during your administration during this time where you threw $24 billion at the problem. Let's continue.
The unsheltered side, I think it was statistically flat at 0.45%. So progress, as well as on the sheltered side.
Progress.
Up 8.9%. That is a very good statistic.
Listen to what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying.
I think it was statistically flat at 0.45%. So progress, as well as on the sheltered side, up 8.9%. That is a very good statistic as it relates to the work we're doing to get people sheltered and to get people the support that they deserve. 40 states saw larger increases than California. We're making progress, but we have to continue to do more. And that progress, again, in the spirit that brings me back to Oakland, is realized locally. States provided unprecedented support, flexibility. Local government has to deliver. Here in Oakland, across the state, hundreds of cities, time to step up, address the issue of encampments, address the issue of tent.
When they talk, they do like this and they do like this. It is a classic thing that is taught from two politicians. Obama mastered it. Kamala Harris tried to use it. It didn't work for her. Gavin Newsom, he does it. They do like this, they do like this, and then they do like this. Like they do like this, they do like this, and then they do like this. That is a classic technique of distracting you and using their hands in order to gaslight you away from the question that you ultimately ask. Politicians do like this on a regular basis when they talk. I do it. I've trained myself to do it when I talk a lot of times when I'm debating with people. I did it a lot on Hardly Initiated. I did it a lot. I do it a lot on when I was, debating with certain other people. I don't want to say no names and all of that stuff. But it is a classic technique. When you do like this, and you do it effectively, and you know how to gather and gain the insight of the people while at the same time trying to, change the conversation into what you want to be and angle it differently, it is an effective tool in communication.
Address what's happening on the streets and sidewalks. It's about quality of life. It's about public safety. The people of the state have spoken loudly. They want to see results, no more rhetoric, no more press conferences. They want to see results.
Sir, you did not answer for the 2/3 of the homeless population in the United States of America living in California. And that's how you get them not to pay attention to the fact that you didn't answer the question.
Yeah. Shady, evasive.
Stand by for examination and suggested products.
You know, just giving you bullshit. That's what I don't like about it. It's always some bullshit.
You are fit for duty. Return to your post.
I bullshit people on the job too, but I don't get paid jack shit. I'm not a politician. And after a while, you get old, you get tired, you don't give a shit anymore. Just want your fucking paycheck and you want to go home. That's it. You don't want to deal with people and their bullshit. Sad thing is, my only retirement plan is to live out of my vehicle. I'm still working on that. I got to make that more perfect. Got to act on that.
Greetings. You are cleared for the following travel routes.
All right. So we're doing pretty good on this thing. Oh, let me play another video. Oh, it looks like Star Wars crapped out on me. Yeah, it does that. It just can't handle the switching anymore. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. You take care.